Hello and welcome back to Assetto Corsa EVO. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. And as you can see in front of you, I have started doing some of the licenses for the Driving Academy because version 0.1.5 was released at the time this video is coming out yesterday. And it means that the online capabilities are now on, which means that I can have some money, I've got driver ratings, licenses, buying cars, basic economy, and all of that sort of thing, which is great. I still have my criticisms of why that is all locked to online. That makes no sense. But as you can see, I've gone around doing some of the licenses, just a little bit. I've just gone and grabbed 1 star, testing out the cars, seeing what they're like, seeing what the feeling is like. Apparently got 2 star for that one. And I thought, let me start recording this because I've got everything running as it should be. I've bound a traction control. I've bound a traction control selector. I suppose it just changes my traction control settings so that I can switch traction control off. And the reason for that is because anytime I've done a license test in Gran Turismo, I run it with no traction control. Now, admittedly, in Gran Turismo, I run it with a controller, but still no traction control. So I want to try and experience the same thing right here. I'm going to show you through some of these license tests. I'll do the first one again as well, but then we'll move on and just fly through these license tests. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on these various different cars, how I think they're feeling, and what I think of the license test or the license tests in and of themselves. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that. The plan is probably to get all the road car ones done today, and then in the next episode, I'll try and do all the racing ones. I have come across a few glitches, and my concern is that those glitches are going to arise a few times. If they do, I am going to show you them, but hopefully by the time that this video is out, they should have fixed them. But you never know. Make sure you stay tuned. Let's get started, and let's just start right with the first and only 3 star that I currently have. Okay, so here we are, first one. Now, I've just gone ahead, as I said, and switched traction control off immediately because I think that the traction control limits me and holds me back. So, first car, Audi Quattro. I was too early on the brakes there, so I'm not going to be able to 3-star this straight away, I can tell you that much. There you go, told you. I was too early on the brakes, lost a couple of tenths. And that's basically the license test. That's pretty much how simple it is. Now I'm hoping that because I've got the 3-star already, if I quit this, it's not going to go back down to 2-star. Please don't do that. That would be really annoying. There we go. Right, going on to the next one. Did I say there we go? There we go. I'm not from North, I tell you. Try this. This one doesn't have traction control, so this should just be me trying to drive the car as best as I possibly can, whilst trying to understand how to get the maximum out of this. The Audi Quattro, obviously you can feel the Quattro system. This car is not as not as powerful. Does feel fairly lively, I guess. It feels very light though. This is one thing that I have already noticed, is that you can feel the mass of a car. You really can. That was bad. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a few of these. Here's the problem. So this is the problem that keeps coming up, and then it will go label not available or something. Game offline, attempting reconnection, label cannot retrieve data. But if, and I'll probably blank this out, if I tab out and tab back in, sometimes it comes back. And I don't know what is going on here. So I have absolutely no idea why it is doing this. There seems to be no valid reason for it at all. But there we go. So it isn't quite as, I'd say it isn't quite as polished. The license tests really are not quite as polished as perhaps they should have been for release. Or perhaps it's not the license test, but the online functionality is not, it's still not there. Something is still not quite there with it. This might just have it. No. I mean, it's good enough for 2-star, but I need to improve that further. And as you can see, this issue is now just going to reoccur every time, and it's really annoying. But again, I'm going to try the tab out and tab back in. No, label cannot retrieve data. It's just a pain. Let's try this one more time, and if not, I'll then move on. I think I can carry a lot more speed around this corner, there we go, than previously. I know where I'm losing the most speed, it's here. This is where I'm losing the most speed. And I think there I've lost more speed than I ever have, so... Yes, I think I've really messed up that one. I felt that straight away. I was just wrong line, all the way through. So as I said, I'm showing you the actual issues that we have. I'll come back to some of these driving tests. The driving tests themselves, I do not think they're too in depth. Let's quit. Maybe if I go out of the driving test thing and then back in, it might come back. So if I go completely out, well, apparently the game crashed instead. There we go. Issues right there, right in front of you. So I have no idea if other people are having the same issues. I really have absolutely no idea. But I thought this would be a good thing to show. Right, back in we go. Now, of course, I'm still giving them leeway because they have said early access, version 0.1.5, whatever it is. So I am still giving them leeway there. 36306 was my best. And what is it that I need? Let's go back into this one. I'm trying to avoid doing the one with the electric car because that electric car was not nice to drive. It just did not feel nice in the slightest. And one thing that I have noticed is that with online mode, we seem to have less, well, loading times. You have loading times and they're not great. Right, 36.1 is what I need. So let's see if I can shave 0.2 off this lap time. This car is quite playful. It's light. It does work quite nicely. I do like this car in general. Of course, it isn't quite as, I think it could have done with a little bit more power when Ford made it. It was a little, I think a little bit underpowered. How are we looking there? 36.5. I think just for the interests of in the interests of showing you, what's just happened to my wallet? Why have I lost so much money there? I'm sure I had 140 something. Also, I purchased a car. Oh no, 151. What? Okay, I'm not going to ask. Maybe that's reputation, not wallet. I have no idea. I'll come back to that. Let's go for this car. And I'll just show you the electric car. This is not me saying that the electric cars are rubbish. This is just me not liking electric cars. Because of this. How is this exciting in any which way? This is just really, really dull. just really dull, as you can see, and probably hear. I mean, the sound of it, yes, it sounds like an RC vehicle. Oh, this is back properly 2 times. It's very easy to get experience in this. The driving challenges themselves, they're not great. As I said, they're a bit. I don't know what the right term would be. I suppose with this, you really shouldn't be switching traction control off. They're very basic. The academy lessons are very basic. See that? There's very little feel in this car. It doesn't feel very nice. Now, one thing I would prefer is if, like Gran Turismo, this title would that's the traction control now kicking in. This title would just fail you if you go off track or hit a cone or something like that and say, oh, you're done. That would be great. The game offline again for no apparent reason. Yeah, I do not like this car. I'm sure I could get used to it. I'm sure I could and get the 3 stars, but this car just feels. Everything about this car just feels off. Like, yes, it has almost instant. Well, obviously it has instant torque, but it's just. I'll tell you one thing that they have done. What Kunos have done is they have given me the ability to experience an electric car and say, yes, I have now tried an electric car and it's really terrible. And I'm unable to get to grips with it. And it isn't the fact that, I'm sure on a road these electric cars are fine. Around town they're probably quite useful, but as a sports car, I'm sorry, nothing beats an engine, having to switch gears for yourself and all of that kind of stuff. Let's do this. I feel like I have done the GR86 a disservice here. Because this is a great car, and I'm going to switch traction control off. Yes, rear wheel drive, GR86, let's go. So one of the things that, as I said, oh, that was terrible, that was so slow. One of the things, as I said, they are quite basic, these license tests. They do not really prepare you as such for whatever you're doing. Where am I ending this? End of lap? Probably, I cannot remember. It's not end of lap, it's just here. Right, so that was another 1 star. I'm 2 seconds off what I need to be at. So obviously I need to start pulling my socks up here and really putting some effort into this. One downside to these licenses is that they start as soon as you do not need to brake around that corner. As soon as the lights turn green, they start. It's not as soon as you cross the line. So they are measuring your reaction time as well, which I think in a way is good, because if you're going to start racing multiplayer, you'll probably be wanting to feel that. There we go, that's a little better. Still not enough. Still not enough. 1.5 seconds. So I've improved by half a second. Let's see if I can shave another half second off that. Also bearing in mind that I do not want to be spending too long making this video. Maybe a short shift to second might help. I think I might have still done a confidence break there. Where I really should not have. Also too slow through this corner. So this car, I can take a lot more speed than I'm naturally expecting to be able to take, which is what I think is catching me out. But there we go. I am now half a second off what I need to be at. But why is it just giving me 1 star there? That was clearly a 2-star. What has just happened? That isn't correct. That was definitely 2-star that I just did. I did a 33.9. Why is that not accepted, the 33.9? That's annoying. That's really annoying. Yep, I can definitely go a lot faster through that corner than I'm expecting, and a lot faster through this corner. Excellent. Starting to get a feel for this car. And then subsequently faster through this corner. Oh, 33.8. I'm 4.5 tenths off. That's poor. Okay, 33.9. That's the previous time. Okay, it seems to be 1 time out for some reason. That was the previous time that I did. Why is it... Can I start in second? Would starting in second work a little better here? I have no idea whether that is going to work a little better. Oh, that has caught me out. That little bit of sliding has slowed me down substantially. $33.9. Okay. I know where I lost about 2 tenths, and it's taken the 33.8. Why is it doing that? I'm going to try this again. I'll try it back in first, but maybe not all the way up. There, something like that. That was probably a pretty good start. Yes, this feels fairly fast. And then no counter steering there, no sliding, so that gives me that 2 tenths or so back. And then come on. Oh, that was just off. Less than 2 tenths. So what I'm noticing, 33.9, this is all gone a bit wonky. What I'm noticing is that it's about... Oh, and the game's gone. Yep, game's crashed on me. Whoa. I don't know what the game is doing now. You can see it all in front of you. No idea what happened there. So, there we go. So, getting 1 star and 2 star, not that bad. Not that bad at all. 3 star is a little difficult. I think it takes a little bit more skill, perhaps a little bit more practice. But that is not to say that it is not possible. I think it is definitely possible, doable, a little bit of practice and you'll be able to do it, especially if you're used to... Okay, well this is no good. Yep, this is definitely no good. Because, yeah, that's completely ruined that. Okay. This game is starting to have problems. I wonder what that... Okay, I don't know why this is happening. No idea at all. That ruined a pretty good run, in my opinion. Now, again, as I said, because this is early access, very early builds, I'm I'm willing to give them some leeway, but not a lot. And the reason I'm not willing to give them a lot of leeway is that a lot of people are obviously playing this, and these are things that should have been working. That was bad. Okay, so what happens here? Now it's linked. Has that got... No. It's picked the last good... I do not understand what's going on here. So it keeps picking the one before. Yes, it keeps picking the time before for some reason. Try and get some really good speed and turn in through this. That was a little too fast on the turn in, too early. And off we go. Oh, that could have been it though. That could have been it had I got that slightly slowed down. That would have been it. It's all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quit this and let's just move on. So you can see I am fairly close to the 3-star times, but it's not quite there. That GR86 feels nice. A little bit too grippy in my opinion. I was expecting it to have less grip. Let's try this Alpine A110, is it? So no traction control. Give this a whirl all the way around Brands Hatch. Oh, it's going to be bad. See there, it should just fail you because that's not going to count the session. Instead of me having to go around or do the whole lap or anything like that, it should just go, yeah, how about no? That's just my opinion. Just like Gran Turismo does, that's what I think this should be doing the same. Okay. Actually, I'm going to see if it does count the lap. Now, I am curious because if it doesn't fail you, maybe it does count the lap. Which would be silly. Oh, okay, this car kind of has a more power than I was expecting. So I'm just going to point that out there. Traction control off on this car. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to. I'm going to have to work my right foot fairly... I'm going to have to be pretty delicate with my right foot. Especially in first and second. This car's nice and lively. This is quite a lively car. I do appreciate this one. Very easy. You can get the back sliding around in this car quite nicely as well. Now, one of the things about getting used to a new simulator, apart from what you've seen me drive, I have not driven in this, so there is a little bit of an element of getting used to it. So those, couple of hours that you've seen, the footage, 2 hours footage, whatever it was, in total, that's basically it. That's basically everything. What you see is what you get there. This feels like a pretty slow lap. This car is very lively. I do appreciate this car, and I do appreciate the dynamics of this car. Engine sounds a bit... I mean, it sounds nice, but it sounds like it's trying too hard to... I don't know, it just sounds a little bit over the top in some ways. I managed to get a 2-star, and the game's decided it wants to go offline again. But for some reason, 33.9. What? That's the previous thing I was doing. Surely that should mark off as a 3-star then. I want to try this again actually. I think this is a nice car. This is actually a pretty nice car. Come on, turn in. See, that should not be off track. That should not be off track in my opinion. But I'm going to see if it counts it. Oh wait, I'm never going to know, am I? I just realised I'm not going to know. Because it's going to take the other... It's going to take the previous one. So this could be great. For example, this lap could be fantastic that I do right now. But it isn't going to count for anything unless I do a lap after it, which is going to be a little annoying. Fourth gear actually worked there a little. What I could really do with is getting my head tracking working on this. That would be really, really good. I should probably try and set that up. Oh, way too fast into that corner. Forgotten the name of that one. Prairie? No, that's not it. Which one is, you've got Paddock Hill. No, Prairie, that's the hairpin. I don't know what the corner after that is. Could have taken that at a much higher speed. So, as I was saying, I keep distracting myself. The driving tests in this, they're quite basic. I think the bigger thing that they do is they give you an experience of all these different cars. That's the bigger thing that they're doing. They're not really giving you much experience in how to handle tracks and corners and things like that. It's just like, here, try driving this, figure it out. Here, try driving this, figure it out. Oh dear. Like that, for example. It's like, yeah, try driving that, figure it out. I wasn't going to get a good lap on that anyway. Let's just exit back to main menu. Let's continue on because, as I said, I'm not going to... So those are all 2 stars. I mean, that one is probably the worst at the moment. These are fairly close to 3, so that's all right. Let's try this, what was it, the Lotus Emira? Again, get rid of the traction control. I like the fact that this is a manual gearbox. Thank you, Lotus. Now, the first time I drove this car, I was expecting it to be more lively than it was. So maybe this car isn't quite as lively in the real world. But I always thought this was supposed to be a very lively vehicle. And the fact that it wasn't was a little bit... Oh yeah, this car actually has really good brakes, which I've already messed up the hairpin. Hairpin? Chicane. If I could get the right name of it, that'd be much better. I'll take a couple of stabs at this. There we go. A couple of stabs at it to start with. So we're 1 second off 2-star, but that's because I know I messed it up anyway. Now, one thing that I have noticed is that we seem to get a lot of experience points and a lot of money. So really, this is a good way to just collect some money. Come on, Lotus. Sounds okay. A little bit, again, not anything to be wowed about. I think the actual car is supposed to sound a lot better. I've messed that up. Really messed that up. I know where I'm supposed to brake, and I keep braking. So what's happening is I'm braking slightly too early. and then I'm hitting the brakes, then I'm letting go and then hitting the brakes slightly too late. Now that's all right. That's part of the parcel of learning. So yes, back to the licenses. I think they teach you how to, or they allow you to get used to different cars. That's about it. It doesn't really teach you much about how to drive the cars in different ways. Brake about there. Or not. Okay, never mind. That was really bad. I could have sworn I could have hit the brakes. I could have braked a lot earlier. Or a lot later. I'll try that again. Brakes on this car are not as good as I thought they were. Oh well. It's a practice. Bit more stutter. Let's try and stick on this side this time, because that's where I really need to be. Okay, I think I know where I'm supposed to be braking. I've just noticed something, and I'm going to double check this. Yep, they have cones where I'm supposed to be braking. There are actually cones across the track where you're supposed to be braking. Huh, I've just noticed that. I want to check. I do want to check and try that. Here we go again. Now obviously those cones are probably with traction control on or whatever it is, but I think those cones are supposed to be your reference, your braking reference. So maybe they do have a little bit more here to help. So look for the cones and brake there. So you'll see one cone on either side of the track. That, here they come, I believe, is the braking point. It is. That is the braking point. So they are giving you some instruction. Okay, I'll take some of the things back. Because that was pretty much spot on, and then this is also pretty much spot on for the braking. I could probably brake a touch later. I'm also struggling with getting this into even 2 stars, so I'm going to leave this for now and just move on. But okay, 52. Wasn't 52? Was it? It's 51.9. Oh, am I literally stuck on 1 star on this? That's bad. No, I need to get the 2 stars. I need to get the 2 stars on this. And I'm still going to do it without traction control because I want to punish myself, clearly. I know that I can get 2 stars. Sure, I don't know the car nor the track, but... oh, it's stuttering and lagging. That's another thing. The stutter and lag actually is playing a part in... I think the timer must be running on a separate thread to the graphics rendering. Too much speed. That's what I need to do there. Okay, I know what I need to do. That's 2 star. But I know what I need to... no, it's not that. I know exactly where I'm going wrong now. I'm braking for too long into the second chicane. And then this one... this stutter off the line is not great. I said I was going to get all the way through to the hypercar bits, but clearly not. I have no idea what that stutter off the line is about. I'm just not sure. wasn't too bad. Tyres got a little hot, but that's all right. I shouldn't be afraid of hitting the... Oh, that was not too far off. Less than half a second. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I'll try one more attempt at it, and then I'll move on. That's a good start. Good start off the line. The stutter is still getting me. I'm not sure why that stutter is there. Cut as close as I can here to this side. Okay, that wasn't the greatest, but it's not bad. That was not bad. There we go, done. That's the 3 stars. I think I'm starting to understand that the way I'm driving, now I know it's given me only 2, so what I'm going to do is I have to do one more run. I think what it is the way I'm driving compared to... I'm trying to drive without maximising the track width. I'm trying to drive by marking to the cones, trying not to hit them. But the truth is I should be ignoring them and just driving the way I see fit. And so that is what I'm going to try and attempt to do. See, this could be even better potentially. Blast. That would have been better. That's okay though. That's okay, because this is going to give me the previous one, which is the 3 stars, which I can then continue and quit, and I'm happy with that. Good. Somehow this is now working. Right, wet drive. I remember this one. This was not pleasant. This was not pleasant. I'm not sure if I should or should not. Well, first thing I need to do is switch these on. Wipers need to be on. Yeah, I'm not entirely certain what the best option here is going to be for me. So this is going up the hill, round the corner, I've forgotten what it's called, and down towards Acqua Minerale. And there is a bit of lag, a bit of stutter here and there. Interesting. I mean, the speed it wants me to go at is... Well, it's pretty high. Does this have launch control? No. I'll leave traction control on for this because I think it's probably going to be required, at least for me to try and get the 2 stars. And as I've mentioned before, I much prefer driving without traction control. I think I have a much nicer feeling for everything that's going on without traction control than with. Okay, well that's reasonable-ish. 581, okay, I could have got 2 star there. I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do this without traction control now. So, what do you mean result failed? I've done the... Okay. I'm not even... Oh, yes, of course, it's picking the... Never mind. Right, now there's no traction control. Just my left foot and right foot. How does this feel? Okay, it just feels better. It just feels better without traction control. This is a very common thing. You'll note that it just is easier to drive without traction control many a time. Did I just get the exact same time as last time? No, last time was 580, not 5. No, I think it was the same time. 518. That's a bit weird. I do want to get the 2-star in this, just because I want to try and see how all the wet driving feels. Because honestly, going into this corner, I feel like this car has a lot more grip than perhaps I'm giving it credit for. I think this has a lot more grip. So especially going around this corner, I think I'm far too timid going around this corner. 484. That's 2-star. I'll try and give it one more. Oh no, it's okay. Somehow it synchronized itself. Maybe you have to fail it once for it to synchronize. I have no idea. Let's try and actually put a lot more emphasis. There we go. Let's try and really push the car a little. Oh, that was close to a 3-star. That was close to a 3-star. I think if I didn't wheel spin quite as much off the line, I could have done that. So, yeah, I want to try that. 2 stars and 3 stars. This is good. Maybe a little bit more. That's not bad. That seems better too. Go up the hill. Here we go. Get it turned in nicely and back on the throttle. That wasn't great. That was really not great. One more attempt? I think one more attempt before I move on to the next one. So, there is still some engagement to be had, as you can see in this. They may be simple, but there is engagement. There's just very limited instruction, and I think that's what's missing at the moment. That was poor. That was poor. So this is not going to go very well at all. I mean, it was still 2 stars, so I've definitely got faster. It's just still, it's not great. Okay, let's go ahead and just quit that and continue on with the next bit. So I'll run this for a little while longer. Maybe if I can get 2 stars on all of those at the very least. So I've got 3. So the first one, I've got 3 for the first one both times. And the way I used to do this in Gran Turismo, all the time, I'm talking about, we're going back to, what, the 1990s here. Oh, Aqua Minerale, this is going to be interesting. Yeah, going back to the 1990s, the way I used to do all of this was, oh, this really loads up the car. really loads up the steering wheel there is I used to just go for the basics of the license test, and then I used to come back at a later time once I was more used to cars, more used to driving. Do you know what? I think this car might be a little bit too much for... What? Oh, apparently I crossed the finish line there. Yes, so I used to just come back to... Once I got more used to this, to the actual game, then I would come back to the driving tests because I'm used to the physics, I'm used to how the car drives, or how the cars are expected to drive, and I would, from there I would go and get the gold, and I've literally done that in Gran Turismo's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, so... This one's a bit harder. I think this car just has so much power, or torque specifically, behind it, that driving it without traction control is a little rough. I have to be a little bit more careful. As long as I'm a bit more careful, I think I should be alright. But yes, those cones are definitely braking markers, which is quite cool. I was not, as I said, I had not even noticed them. Yeah, this car, as soon as you come out of that chicane, you are struggling. Right, which way is this wheel facing? Because I'm not entirely certain. Is it straight? This car does sound like a muscle car though, so that is good. I wonder if the double cones are aiming points. I'm just thinking, is that what they're trying to teach you? I have no idea, I really have no idea. There's 2 stars. So once, if you can control this car, you can get your 2 stars quite easily. I'm just going to keep flying through these because I am aware that the time has got away from me somewhat. Brake hard, exit harder. All right. That, I think, is a paddle shift vehicle. And just feeling these different vehicles, like the Camaro felt heavy, it felt more... Does this have launch control? No. The Camaro felt heavy, it felt... I was going to say sluggish, not really sluggish, no, it just felt like a brute. This one also feels quite heavy. Wow, that was pretty good on the brakes, actually. I was not expecting this car to be that good. Obviously, I just drove this car in the... wet, didn't I? That was far better on the brakes than I thought it was going to be. As you can clearly see from my time. Oh, that squeal is horrible. I guess I'm not getting the hypercar one done. Oh, well, it's broken. There it goes. What we had earlier, it's gone. It managed to last a decent amount of time. So there is that. I'm not sure what it is, as I said, that's causing it. Right, goodbye traction control, let's go. Let's do this without traction control and see how it all fares. It stopped, that's for sure. I think these cones are aiming markers. I do genuinely think these cones are aiming markers. I didn't see anywhere where it said when I started the Academy stuff up that, you know, this is what these things mean. Still only 1 star. I'm 2 seconds off a gold. 3 star. Yep, this is all gone. So I'm expecting this to crash at some point now, which is probably at the time for me to end the video. But there we go. For now, I do want to keep trying this. And it's mainly, I'll be honest, the main reason for me trying this game offline now. See, that is the part that's just very silly. In my opinion, that is just all wholly unnecessary. I think these are acceleration markers and braking markers and stuff. Yeah, the whole online, having the game having to be online for you to be able to do all of this, I think it's just silly. Just really, really silly. Still 2 seconds off. I haven't really improved anything, have I? Let's jump out of this and jump back in. So this is a 1 star. And yeah, the real appeal for this is not so much the driving test, in my opinion. It's more so, I think, it's more so just the experience of the car. That is what I think is the appeal. So, for example, I really couldn't care less about that electric car, but then there is a perfectionist in me that says, well, I must go ahead and get the 3 stars. But that electric car is really going to be an annoyance. So yes. Right. This time, that thing was not marking a braking point. It's a good thing I ignored it, but when I was looking at that, I'm thinking that is not a braking marker. I said, is a braking marker for this one, so I'm a little bit unsure. Maybe it's just a little bit of a guide saying if you've hit the brakes after this, you're in a bit of trouble. Maybe that is what it means. I do not know. That squeal of the brakes, though, not particularly liking that. It's really, really nasty. This car is interesting to drive. It again, a lot of these modern cars, they feel, this is supposed to be an M4, right? It feels so heavy and so cumbersome. Yes, it's powerful, it's very powerful, but it just feels heavy and cumbersome. Like, too heavy, in my opinion. Come on, stop the car, stop the car, stop the car, there we go. No, that was not a track cut, surely not. What's going on here? What's with all the stutters? That is really strange. Right, that's 3 seconds off the time required. Interesting. That's quite interesting. And obviously it's going to go, well, we can't figure it out and blah blah blah. I just hope it is actually picking up the data, because it would be a real annoyance if it wasn't. Okay, here we go. Third gear through this. So obviously no traction control. The car does feel a little bit more alive. with traction control on, everything's a little bit more muted, as you would expect, because the computer is trying to control things for you. Now, the only reason I do not switch off ABS is because I do not think I have my brake pedal set in the right way for me to be able to control the ABS properly. I think I need to sort a few things out on my brake pedal, which will then allow me to switch off ABS, because I'll have a much better feel for it. At the moment, it's still a little bit, not massively, but a little bit too spongy for my liking. And that's the Fanatec V3 pedals, and I have got the brake performance kit, so I just need to figure out what to do with that. Over that, over that. So I think if you touch any of the cones, it will bite you and say that's a fail, or that's a corner cut, or sorry, a track cut, or anything like that. But this car is so big, like I'm not even 100% certain how. Right, well, that lag almost. All this stuttering almost caught me out. I certainly wasn't able to save the car in the way I normally would. Let's see how close I am now. I'm still some ways away. That is really some ways away. But that's alright. I think at this point, it's probably a good time to end this video. I've shown you some of the licenses. I've shown you some of the problems, some of the stuttering, the problems with obviously that bit. Is that the time I had? It was. I think with a little bit of practice, I could probably 3-star the lot of this. Certainly this lot. So overall, obviously I have to go through the hypercars. I've done that. Overall, what do I think? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's start driving this whilst I tell you what I think overall before I end this video. I think that's probably a good thing to do. I'll leave traction control on for this. So, I think the license tests they're nowhere near as good as Gran Turismo 7. That much is for certain. There's very little information about how to drive your vehicle. So in Gran Turismo 7, there's a lot of cues that tell you how to drive your vehicle. Okay, well, that's that gone. Where am I supposed to be going? It's all the way up towards the hill, isn't it? It's going up towards the corkscrew. Yes, so in Gran Turismo 7, there's a lot of information. And I am going to compare this to Gran Turismo 7 or 6. Unfortunately, that is what it will end up being compared to. Does that mean that this is all bad? No, definitely not. The idea of this, the idea of having an academy with licenses, I think is a really good thing. It's just a matter of whether it's something we can use and is practical and useful. And at this point in time, I would say it is not all that clonk. I would say that this is not quite, I don't think it's that practical. I don't think it's that useful beyond giving you an experience of various different cars. But then you could just, when the offline mode was available, which I think if you go to settings, gameplay, HUD, and then there's an online button and you just check that to be offline, I think if you did that, then you get to do exactly what this is doing. There's nothing really here that would give you anything extra than you going around doing this for yourself, just pick a car, pick a track, and off you go. Like, this Ferrari is incredible to drive. But I would have found that out anyway had this not been around, because I would have picked this car up and gone, right, let's give this car a whirl and see what it's like. There we go, that's what I was after, 3 stars. Now the question is it going to pick that up? I'm not sure if it will. But you have all seen it. I've got the 3 stars. Let's just try and Let's do that and quit and see if it picks this up. Hopefully it did. Yes, it's picked that up. There we go. Welcome to the corkscrew. So yes, that is what I think of the license tests. I just think that there needs to be more to it, unfortunately, because there isn't much in the way of education, I guess. Where's the corkscrew? I'm surprised I even managed to get the 2-star on that. That was such a bad run. That was such a horrible run. I'm surprised I managed to 2-star it. I know I said I was going to end this video, but now I've been distracted by Ferrari. This is a really nice car, by the way. A really, really nice car. This one is very impressive to drive. I think I can do a better job here. A much, much better job. So what I've realised is that those cones that go across, they're not brake markers, because I do not need to be braking here. I brake here. Well, that was probably a little bit late. They are guides, though. They are some sort of a guide. Still a second to go. I'll keep going. It's two stars. Silver for now is fine. So yes, good for driving a car or experiencing a car. Not really that great for anything else. It's not teaching you the perfection. I was expecting something a bit more like Gran Turismo, but obviously that is not the case here. But that's also okay, because this car obviously has a bit more to offer this sim has more to offer. Where am I? I'm at the corkscrew again. Why am I back here? Dive deep. Okay, well, why did you put me back at the corkscrew? I had to do the corkscrew twice? That's gonna clonk. I still don't know what to make of those cones. I think they are brake markers, but they're not the greatest of brake markers. There's a 2-star there as well. And I'll end the video by getting the rest of the hypercar license, just because I now can. Yes, so not the greatest, but again, nice for experiencing different cars. Whether the rest of the economy, how that works, well, at the moment I'm probably taking advantage of the unbalanced economy and just making as much money as I probably can, or can, to purchase as many cars as I possibly can. But we'll see. We will see how that all pans out. It's mainly this academy and licenses. The economy is very, very bare bones at this point. So I'm not really all too convinced of the economy just yet. This car has a lot of punch, I'll tell you that much. It definitely has a lot of punch in it. And I'm not even pushing it. This is back to me doing 80% pushing now. As opposed to really going for it 100% on these. Especially as and I have mentioned this before, Laguna Seca is a track I am not good at, and never really have been. That's why that braking marker was there. It is a braking marker. Okay, I know what that braking marker's for. It's a marker. Right. It's a marker for when the car's going at full speed. That's what that marker is there for. Okay, well I'm learning. I'm definitely learning things. which is why I can brake later in on certain tests. I mean, to be fair, I think that the marker for this corner is in the wrong spot. It can be later. This one's about right. Again, not going to push it too I say not pushing it too hard. I've clearly gone way too fast here. Maybe I'll just focus on this. I'll stop talking, or I'll talk very little. I'll try not to articulate my thoughts on the licenses. I think I've said enough about that. I'm just going to focus on the driving. Maybe I will go. Let's try. Let's really try for this one, actually. Yeah, let's really go for 100% or nearish 100% push on this. That was bad. Right, I think what's happening is I'm getting the back stepping out more than I want it to around that corner, and that's costing me. That is really costing me. I'm going to start ignoring the cones. I've never relied on cones in the past. Why should I be relying on them now? I know they're there and they're supposed to help, but I think maybe I should start ignoring them. I didn't know they were there before, and I still did all right, so... Well, I say ignoring them and I completely messed that up. What kind of lap would I have got? Well, that would have clearly been a 2-star lap. So, is that going to actually give me the lap time? I do not know. Anyway, I really should stop now. But I suppose I'm contradicting myself here, because I'm saying on one hand I've said, well, they're not that great. Oh, the game's decided to go offline again. That the licenses are not that great. But on the flip side, I am trying the licenses over and over and over. But that is a matter of probably the fact that I'm a perfectionist. And I'm like, no, I have to get this. I have to get this done. I have to get this right. Obviously, the 3 stars does not matter just yet, but I am going to go back and get the 3 stars. But since this is the final lap that I have to do for the supercar or hypercar? Was it hypercar license? Not doing this and leaving it unchecked or undone, even with no stars, that is going to be quite a problem for my poor brain. So I'm going to be like, no, I'm going to do this, and I might as well then show you on camera if I'm going to do it. There's no point me doing it and not doing it on camera. This is just a bit of extra footage. I keep forgetting the corkscrew actually is shallower in turn angle than you'd think. Not using all of the track there because I'm hopeless at that, it seems, in this title. No, come on, no. Oh, that could have been a gold. This is definitely going to be a silver, right? Yes, that could have been a gold. I messed up. That last sector was a definite mess up. That should have been a gold or 3 stars. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to click the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Assetto Corsa EVO. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Any suggestions you might have. Are you experiencing these issues with Assetto Corsa EVO that I currently am? If so, then do let me know. If not, are you experiencing other ones? Do let me know about that as well. What else? If you can do so, please do consider supporting me on Patreon. Link in the description box below, as are links to my social media and Discord server. That is all from me. If I go to driver profile, this isn't my age, by the way, or is it? No, I'm trying to find out, where do I find out how much money I've got? Is that it? Do I click that? No. That is all from me, and I shall see you next time. By the way, that's the car I purchased. It gave me some credits to purchase my own car to start with. There we go. Ooh, hello. Wait, what? I did not know there were different packages available. Is that lower? Is that actually lowered? That car looks lowered. That gap there looks different to that gap there. Tell me that is actually the case, and I'm not just imagining that. That one also looks lowered. Okay, performance package is lowered. Well, there we go. I've just learnt something new. That is all from me. Also, this looks absolutely great. And I shall see you next time in Assetto Corsa EVO, where I'm sure I will find... Oh, wow. Okay, there's all sorts of stuff here. I'll buy this car next time. That is what I will do. I'll go around buying some cars. I'll try and figure out what kind of money I've got. Let's just dump the money into a basic car to see how much it all costs. I think it's that. It must be that. But yes, that is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Assetto Corsa EVO, where I will be buying cars and, I don't know, maybe some other stuff. I'll see you then.